Hello everyone, welcome to TGBtoys channel. This episode, I'm unboxing two of the latest Saint Seiya model toys from Blockees, Pegasus Seiya and Sagittarius Aiolos. Both belong to the Champion class, which is the larger scale line in Blockees' Saint Seiya series. Among them, Seiya is the first of the Bronze Saints to debut, featuring the design of the new bronze cloth. Meanwhile, Sagittarius is famous for its large wings, so both new models have aspects that make people excited. So, let's get right to the toys. First, let's show the outer box of Pegasus, front and back, both sides and the top, maintaining a consistent design style. Opening the package, the contents include 5 bags of parts and 1 instruction manual. The assembly steps in the instruction manual are marked with numbers corresponding to the part's sprues, and unnumbered parts can be easily identified from the diagrams in the examples. So, just follow the instructions to assemble. Removing parts can be done by hand. Of course, if you want cleaner sprue gates, try to remove them slowly. Since Seiya is the first Bronze Saint released in this series, I'll quickly demonstrate the assembly process. If you want to skip to the results, you can fast forward this part. Earlier, when assembling the upper arm, I got the direction wrong. If the direction is correct, you'll hear a crisp clicking sound. So, using this sound to judge the direction is a good method. Okay, with that, Pegasus Seiya is assembled. Let's first take a look at the face sculpt. Seiya comes with 2 versions, a serious face and a shouting face. Designed based on the manga version, his face has details of bandaged wounds. The face sculpt still leans toward a youthful style, but since Seiya himself is relatively young, this slightly childish depiction feels more suitable than the 3 previous Golden Saints. I don't know if the material of the face sculpt has changed compared to before, but it looks shinier to the naked eye. The first wave's 3 models didn't give this impression. Also, the sculpting style of the new models' faces seems to have changed slightly, which I'll talk about in more detail when we get to Sagittarius. In terms of hand types, there's a pair of open hands, a pair of Pegasus Meteor Fist hands, and a pair of clenched fists. Other accessories include a set of Pegasus Meteor Fist effect parts made of soft plastic, which can be attached to the clenched fist hands for use. The effect parts have always been a cost-effective addition in this series. Pegasus's effect parts are also compatible with Saint Seiya mythcloth figures. The final part of the accessories is the display base, which differs from the Golden Saints only in the color of the base's emblem. Otherwise, it's basically the same. In terms of articulation, the head can tilt downward about 40 degrees, upward about 20 degrees, and side to side about 30 degrees each way. The head can rotate widely. Sideways arm extension reaches parallel to the ground. Upward arm extension is limited by the shoulder armor and cannot reach vertical. Forward arm extension allows both fists to touch each other. The upper arm can rotate freely. The elbow bends about 130 degrees. Bowing forward is about 10 degrees, and leaning backward is over 25 degrees. The chest, abdomen, and waist joints can all rotate. The hip joint can lift well beyond 90 degrees, and pulling the leg diagonally backward also exceeds 90 degrees. The hip joint can also be pulled downward, and the thigh root can rotate slightly. The side pieces of the waist armor are articulated. The knee joint bends over 160 degrees. The ankle has decent up and down rotation, but ground contact is average, requiring careful angle adjustment. The front of the foot can be raised. For the toy's height, I'll compare it with a Saint Seiya EX metal frame figure I have on hand to give you a reference. Overall, the experience with Pegasus Seiya is that it assembles quite smoothly, has impressive articulation, and feels very satisfying to pose and play with. The character's proportions are designed with care, showcasing the advantages of model kit toys. Considering the price, it comes with effect parts and a display base, making it very cost-effective. As for drawbacks, when swapping hand types, it's still easy to accidentally pull out the joint. My solution is not to pull straight out, but to bend the hand type first, like snapping a stick, which makes it easier to remove. Also, swapping face sculpts is inconvenient. The hair fits very tightly and is made of hard material, so after a few swaps, my hand was sore. Lastly, while the face sculpt's accuracy is decent, the material feels less premium than before. After looking at Seiya, let's move on to Sagittarius. First, let's show the outer box, which follows the same style as the previous Golden Saints. The contents include one instruction manual and 6 bags of parts. Since most of Sagittarius's assembly process is similar to the previous Golden Saints, only the wings are quite unique, so I'll focus on demonstrating the wing assembly process. If you want to see the assembly of other parts, you can check out my unboxing videos for the first 3 Golden Saints. First, you need to attach the pivot shaft to the slot inside the wing. Then, you need to combine the 2 wing pieces together. This part is extremely difficult to assemble. I tried with a lot of force for a while, but no miracle happened. In the end, I used a hairdryer to heat and soften it before managing to get it done. Assemble the remaining parts for the other sections. The symmetrical joints on both wings are very hard to attach. I suggest preparing a hairdryer or hot water in advance. Attach the assembled wings to the hole on the back first, then put on the back cover piece. Then adjust it. Okay, with that, Sagittarius Aiolos is assembled. After assembly, let's look at the face sculpt first. This model comes with 3 expressions: a neutral face, a closed-eye face, and an archery face. I don't know if it's just me, but Aiolos' face sculpting style feels closer to the Saint Seiya Mythcloth EX style compared to the previous models, especially the archery face. Comparing Aiolos with his brother Ioria side by side, doesn't the difference feel particularly obvious? Let's show each expression from different angles. Personally, I really like this change. In terms of hand types, there's a pair of clenched fists, a pair of open hands, a pair of grabbing hands, and finally, a pair of archery hands. Speaking of the bow and arrow, the arrow part can be inserted into the hand. The bow's middle section can attach to the hand, and this hand comes with built-in gauntlet armor, which has a noticeable color difference compared to the other hands. In terms of articulation, other parts are similar to Seiya, so I'll focus on showing the wing articulation. The central attachment point can rotate up and down, and the wings can flap with a decent range of motion. The joint between the 2 wing pieces can also rotate, allowing the wingspan to reach a fairly wide level. However, since the smaller wing piece is too small, or rather, it feels like one wing piece is missing, the wingspan looks a bit sparse when fully extended. Overall, the experience with Sagittarius Aiolos is that the assembly process's main issue is the difficult-to-attach joints on the wings. Other parts assemble much more smoothly. In terms of design, I think the completion is quite impressive. The proportions are well crafted, looking harmonious from different angles. Although it's a plastic-painted finish, it looks very premium under the camera, extremely attractive. However, the paint isn't very durable. The sharp inner edge of my shoulder armor has already left scratches near the collar, so those who mind should be careful when assembling and posing. In terms of face sculpt accuracy, compared to the previous models, it feels more mature, striking a balance between overly mature and overly youthful. Also, the face sculpt material doesn't have the shiny look like Seiya's, so overall, I'm quite satisfied with this one. Let's line up all 5 models so far to take a look. In terms of height, Aiolos is the tallest. The first 3 Golden Saints are about the same, and Seiya is the shortest. Making height differences between the Golden Saints is something worth praising, as height is an important factor for accuracy that many people care about. Okay, that's about it for this episode's sharing. Blockees' Champion Class Saint Seiya series nicely fulfills Saint Seiya fans' desire for posable toys and offers a distinct style compared to mythcloth figures. I'll continue to follow future releases, hoping this series will expand to include characters beyond the protagonists and Golden Saints. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you next time.